Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, still giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase. And it does come with fun Picatinny rail adapter, so you can mount it to any standard AR-15, like all Aston accessories can be. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the flamethrower button to learn more and see me shooting a flamethrower. Lastly, trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have the 2026 Aston Martin Vanquish Volante losing its roof and it's styling for the front. But that's just my 3 cents. Now, this comes to us thanks to Motor1.com, specifically credited to Christopher Smith, one of the top writers over there. Which they say, quote, 2026 Aston Martin Vanquish Volante. This is it. The same incredible twin-turbo V12, now with unlimited headroom, which at least it has a great engine, though should have more pedals. Now, here you can see the Aston Martin right there. It's a cool coupe. And it looks, to me, it looks pretty slick. Granted, I'm not a big fan of convertibles in general or, cars without roofs. I think, personally, I prefer the styling of the coupe with a nice hard top. But in this case, I don't want to say, what would they used to say? They jumped the shark. But to me, I think it was an epic fail for the front-facing grille. Now, Chris says, oh, sorry about that. Chris says, quote, let me pull this up really here. Depending on how you talk to, removing the roof on a performance car either makes it better or worse. Well, obviously worse. Just statistically speaking, you won't be able to go as fast. But I guess some people might like a performance car that can perform less. For reasons. Nevertheless, he says, quote, when the performance car in question is a V12 Aston Martin Vanquish, frankly, we struggle to see the downside. But whether you prefer your Grand Tourer open or closed, you'll now have the option to do that with a V12 Vanquish. Here's a 2026 Aston Martin Vanquish Volante, which, again, from the side looks pretty cool. The rear looks it's got some nice exhaust tips. I'll give them that. But to me, it's almost like a parody. Like if you put a ChatGPT, Banana Falcon, or Grok or Grok, put an AI tool said, make me a bombastic Aston Martin for a rapper or some country western musician that made it rich or something, it'd be this. Grille nearly takes up the whole front bumper. It's over-exaggerated, but not in a good way. To me, it just looks so obnoxious, but there it is. They say, thankfully, the powertrain is unchanged from the coupe. This means a 5.2-liter twin-turbocharged 12-pot production, 824 horsepower, and 736 foot-pounds of torque, all turning the rear tires through an 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox. Why even bother? For the record, that's the most powerful front-engine production car you can get, being it a hardtop or convertible. It's also the fastest with a top speed of 214 miles per hour, which I was actually surprised. It's identical to the fixed-roof Vanquish. I did not see that coming. Now they say, quote, it does, however, take a bit longer to get there. The Vanquish Volante's official sprint from 0 to 62 miles per hour. They say to 100 kilometers per hour, whatever that is. In America, we go 0 to 60, but nevertheless. And this is the James Bond British car. That takes 3.4 seconds. That's 0.2 of a second off the hardtop pace, and you can thank the Volante's extra 209 pounds for it. Wow, that's pretty heavy. Or half an American. Only partially kidding, we have a health problem. Now it says, Aston Martin calls weight gained minimal, though that should push the roofless Vanquish somewhere around the 4,300 pound, oh my gosh, pound range once fluids are added. Jeez Louise. 4,300 pounds. Insanity how heavy cars are getting these days. Mostly because of government regulation. Another topic for another time, perhaps. They say the upside is a reinforced chassis that Aston Martin claims is nearly as stiff as a coupe. Exact details on that process aren't mentioned, but the suspension does get Volante's specific tuning to go along with the Bilstein DTX dampers, 6-piston carbon ceramic front brakes, and 4-piston rear brakes to help the stopping. It rides on the same Pirelli's P0 21-inch tires as the coupe. As you expect, the interior is about the same, right down to the pair of 10.25-inch displays, which Yeah, nothing dates a car like the electronics in there. Also known as make them look like trash. It's one of the top ways that the DB9s and the James Bond, was it? Not Quantum of Solace, it was before that. One that was so boring, the main plot was actually gambling at a casino. Like, that was the main point of the movie. Was it Die? No, Die. No, anything with Sean Connery is good. Or Pierce Brosnan. It's one of the newer ones. But nevertheless, as soon as you bought that car, the outside looks beautiful, timeless to this day. But the interior is a flip-up map that looks like it's from the 80s with the LCD screen. It's the one thing about Aston Martins that dates them the most is all the electronics. They're also woefully unreliable with the electronics too. So, again, I don't think they should have any of these stupidest screens, but that's just me. Now, they also note that the only difference is a button for the K-fold fabric roof, which takes 14 seconds, can be done at speeds up to 31 miles per hour. Raising the roof takes a little bit longer at 16 seconds, but with the roof up, you can't hear the optional titanium exhaust system nearly as well, unless it's pouring rain. Leave it down. Now, the CEO, Adrian Hallmark, says, quote, "For 60 years, Aston Martin Volantes have defined the art of elegant, sporting, open-top motoring. With its stunning looks and outstanding V12 engine, producing more power than any other front-engine production car on sale, Vanquish Volante has taken the philosophy to an entirely new level." Which, again, to me, it looks kind of cool, but the front is so bad. Like, people make fun of BMW for the kidney grills, and they've gotten bigger throughout the years. This is more comical than the BMW front. Like, it's almost like a cartoon. I mean, this is the ugliest Aston Martin they've ever designed, in my opinion. Okay, I won't go that far. There's some dark times in the 80s and 90s where most cars look like crap, including Aston Martin. It's not that bad, okay. Past 20 years, though. Shoot, I'd rather get a 20-year-old Aston Martin with a stick shift and a... I would not want this. Granted, it's not a problem because I don't have the pennies. I don't even have money for the deposit for this monstrosity. They say that they didn't mention the price, but it will certainly cost more than the $434,000 coupe. Production begins third quarter 2025, and fewer than 1,000 will be built each year. They'll probably sell them, but geez Louise, at that price point, I mean, you know me, I don't buy things unless it has a stick shift. Well, also, I have Honda money, or I've used Honda money, not Aston Martin money. But if I won the lottery and I want to get a supercar, again, I kind of have the V12. I love the fact that Aston Martin still does that. I'd want Aston Martin with a stick shift, which they don't make as many, but they say they will soon. But for $400,000, you have $400,000 to buy a sports car. I mean, you get the best of the best Porsche with a stick shift for that price. Well, with enough money for insurance and gasoline. And I would also argue the better styling. I mean, at that price point, again, there's obviously a market for it, but I am astonished how much it's going for. And let me know in the comment. I can just keep obsessing about that bombastically large grille. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but I think the proportions are all wrong. Again, when you're buying Aston Martin for decades, you're buying the styling, the craftsmanship. I mean, historically speaking, they're the most beautifully designed cars on the planet. But I mean, let me know. Do you think this looks exceptionally beautiful and a great car, or do you think they kind of jumped the shark? Let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.